Well, welcome back, everyone. You know, the kids are getting ready to go back to school, but parents really need to check in with them to see how they're doing. And here to talk about that is Erin Moran-Wiley, the CEO and owner of the Willow Center here in Ohio. Welcome, Erin.
Thanks for having me back, Chris.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, all right, so kids are going back to school, a lot of pressure on the kids, of course. You know, parents really need to check in with them, don't they?
Yeah, it's a big transition, and every year brings excitement, but also challenges. I think for parents, the best advice I have is to prepare ahead of time. Kind of look at your calendar and give your kids an idea of how much time they have left in the summer, whether it's 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. Kids, everyone does better when they understand what's coming. It gives us a sense of security. So to be able to have a plan and look at the calendar and remind them of how many days there are until we have to go back to school, gives them a sense of expectation and will calm their nerves a little as we get closer to the date.
Right. So as you were talking about a plan, you know, one of the things I was thinking about in my head was a sleep schedule and, you know, like keep getting that started back up again, right?
100%. That was literally the next thing I was going to suggest. You know, it's tricky in the summers in Ohio because the sun is out so late. But in order to get kids ready to get up for these bedtimes that are 7, 6:30 for high school or sometimes 5:30 in the morning, it really behooves parents to get ahead of that and plan. And this is what we used to do when our kids were little. Bedtime is going to be at 8:30 this week, and then it's going to be at 8:15 and then 8 o'clock. And just inching back until you get them where you want them, because it does take time to adapt to a new sleep schedule. Giving kids a sense of time like their own alarm clock. I don't suggest phones in the bedroom, but giving them an alarm clock, even if they're young, can give them a sense of understanding of time, understanding of responsibility, and preparing ahead for the next day, which would be my last best tip, which is anything you can do the night before to prepare for the next day. In my home, when my kids were little, we used to keep a chart so that we knew Monday was library day, and on Sunday night, we'd make sure they had their library books in their backpack. And if Wednesday was gym class, then we made sure that they had all of their clothes ready on Tuesday night. And those kind of things, if you are consistent, packing what you can the night before for lunches. Maybe you don't want to pack a sandwich because it gets soggy, but you can put some grapes and some cookies in some containers. We even used to do that on Sunday nights. Plan a few things ahead of time so that the morning of everything can run so much more smoothly. And that's what you want, are good mornings for your kids to get up and out the door and not be harried or stressed, but rather prepared for the school day and excited for the year ahead.
Yeah, so when we're talking about planning for the kids, but that also means planning for the parents as well, I would think, you know, making sure that their kids are on top of their school and their programs and their sports. But you know, it takes time for them to get into a schedule as well, I would think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I really believe because America has been on this 9-month school schedule for, you know, ever, we all kind of live our lives around a school schedule. So I even find as a professional that fall feels like a time to get back to work. Summer is over, vacation's done with. So for sure, anything parents can do to structure their time is helpful. I think having either a shared family calendar, whether it's electronic on a phone that everyone taps into, or an actual old-fashioned paper calendar that you just keep on the wall of the kitchen where you can see rough dates of what's going to be happening. One of my favorite memories from raising my children was that on Sunday nights we would do a family meeting night where we would all gather around the table. And even if this is just you alone and one child, right? Just to get the week ahead kind of planned out. What's happening this week? Or do you have any concerns for the week? What are your goals for the week? What activities are happening this week? What nights will we be home to have dinner? And what should we plan for a meal? It is so helpful at giving a sense of calm and normalcy to what is inevitably going to be a busy, chaotic school year.
Yeah, I really love that family meeting night. It's a really good chance to connect via family, you know, with your kids, you know, the parents, and even if you're not talking about anything important, just talking in general. So I think that's fantastic advice, Erin.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, and so much can be shared at those family meetings that your kids wouldn't normally tell you. But when you ask your kids open-ended questions about what's going on at school, and you have a set time with an expectation that everyone meets around the table, I think you really do open the door for that opportunity for your kids to share more with you.
All right. Always great advice, Erin. I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, don't go away because we have one we return.